Welcome to A&B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron, and we are live tonight to talk about our favorite movies to watch leading up to Halloween. The final countdown is on. Halloween is on Friday, and it's time to pull out the big guns. And with me tonight is Morley Nelson. Morley, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yes, I can't wait to chat with you tonight. So, you are a writer, a director, a producer, an actor. You are the mastermind behind Uncontained, the latest in the zombie viral outbreak films. Before I introduce my other guests, I thought I could give you a moment to talk a little bit about Uncontained. What can you say for those watching about your new film that I think is awesome?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a wild ride making the movie. We shot, production was tough. It was all practical. We shot in I think the average was 13 below weather. The wind chill got up to 45 below if you've seen the movie, the final scene where, I'm like aura farming, that was like 45 below zero wind chill. And the look on my face is only because I'm thinking like, I think my ear has frostbite. Is it going to fall off? Will that be forever? Like so the conditions were interesting to shoot. And then we were also fortunate because everyone in the film, because we shot it for $55,000, everyone in the movie is my family, and the dog is my dog, and the house is my house. And we were able to, everyone else were actors from, we had the main bad guy, Peter O'Meara, who plays Brett Carson, was from Ireland. And then the Courtney Blythe Turk and Brett Zimmerman are from LA. And we're fortunate to have them in for like a day or two to shoot their scenes. But it was a wild ride. And as a writer director, your best hope is that people just see your film and the outcome is good, and you hope it connects with people. And that was my main goal from the beginning, was, can I connect emotionally in a subgenre that is my absolute favorite? Like, as a fan who's just grown up and constantly imagining myself in zombie movies that I watch, whether it's, everything from George Romero's first masterpiece that grandfathered everything into, even stuff like World War Z or whatever. I just love the concept of what would happen and what the go bag and your go people would be. So connecting with like-minded people and just connecting on an emotional level is my goal. And then I don't know what happened, but we were fortunate enough to kind of go viral, and we've had over 40 million views on social media. So and we were number one on Tubi for a little while, and I think we're number one for horror for Amazon Prime when we're on there, and I think we're on there right now. But yeah, so that part is kind of like major imposter syndrome, or major just like total gratitude. And I mean, it's just weird. It's really weird to wake up and think like, whoa, people actually like this. And the weirder part is Gen Z loving it and being like, whoa, if I can connect with kids, am I like,
Yeah,
not that they're kids, right? But
of course, yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me. It's so good. Gosh, I think you and I talked maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I do have some new questions for you, but before we do that, I do want to introduce the other folks joining me tonight. We have Vince from Dread Alert Media. Vince, welcome. I can't wait to see what movies you watch leading up to Halloween, and also to hear what questions you might have for Morley about Uncontained.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm thrilled. I watched Uncontained. I thought it was a really unique take on the genre. You brought some really interesting flavor to it, some surprise twists. I don't want to spoil anything. It's a good ride, and I think above all, it was really well shot. It was a beautiful film. But before I gush too much, I'll let you get back to the introductions.
And it's cold. My God, you really do feel cold watching your film. So nicely done there. And I do want to talk about the room behind you, but we'll come back to that. I also have Tim, a good friend of mine from the Dread broadcast and also the Average Reviews. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Of course, yes. So we actually, before I jump into it, I just want to say that, give a shout out to El Tenda, who's on. He says, good evening, everyone. Thanks, man, for joining. I appreciate it. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions for Morley before we jump into our Halloween movies that we watch every year?
I gotta ask you, Morley, what was it like working with your kids? I have one and one on the way, and I have a degree in theater as well, and so I can't imagine working with my daughter. I have some slight fears about her even wanting to get near the business. I haven't explained to her what a stage is yet. But no, what was it like? It must have been a really cool experience.
It was, it's interesting. How old is your daughter?
She's going to be 2 on the 1st, so
Okay.
we're coming right up on it.
Nice. Yeah. So our daughter Brooke was going to be 3 when we shot it, and it was, it's kind of weird when you see a glimpse of the film now, and I watch them, and I think, from a meta standpoint, it's like, well, we'll always have this moment for the rest of my life, right? Like we'll always have this moment in time that we captured us and this experience together, and it's hard to separate the story world that we played in versus the entire overall experience of production. But it was insane. I was, as being a parent, you're constantly worried about your kids' well-being, but on top of it, I was worried that Jack, he was just turned 7 at the time. I'd feed him his lines and say, okay, in this scene, I'm going to do this, I'm going to say this, and then I need you, when I say this, you have to respond this way. And you could tell, like, your kids, right? When they're not listening, they're not listening. And you're just like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to do this scene for an hour and a half, just one line. And he never, through the entire shooting process, he never missed a line, ever. And in fact, at the end, I asked if he wanted to do another one. And he said, no, it's super boring because you just sit around and you have to wait for the adults to get it right all the time. You just do it the same thing over and over again, waiting for the adults to get it right. And it's just like, well, I guess that's from a kid's standpoint, sure, but
He's not wrong.
no. And he had, I think, the scenes with him and the Nerf gun, and like he had so much fun. Like when we were in that standoff with the militia guys, he was just, there are some parts where he screwed up on purpose because I know he wanted to do it again, where he just wanted to rack it and be like, I got these 2 guys or whatever. He's just having such a blast with with these adults. But yeah, it was just nothing but we didn't have one breakdown. We didn't have one outburst. We didn't have, my wife is a saint because she would work 60 hours a week at her job. She works in investment management. And so she would come home, she's taking care of the kids. They're staying at an Airbnb somewhere else. And on top of it, she's acting and she's getting them to be happy and feeding them and, all this stuff. So it was an insane amount of teamwork. But also nice because I think having worked on other features, not as the director, but as someone in below the line or even just acting, it's interesting because you have a flavor of kind of, the rapport you have with everybody on set. It's very professional. But then when you inject kids and a dog, that everyone was just like, it was so light. Like everyone's so happy and the crew was so happy and everyone's joking around and it's really weird not to hear anyone swear for like, yeah, but it was phenomenal. Like it was just awesome to have the kids there and see people like, loving to work with the kids. I think there was only one time where it was no fault of his own. Again, just turned 7, but I think it was a night shoot and we were getting well past his bedtime. And I think he was getting a little kind of the puppy crazies where he's like running around. And I could tell one of the actors who is excellent at acting, Shakespearean trained, was kind of like, I could see there, I was reaching his limit. So I was like, Jack, we got to really like focus on. And if you do this, I will buy you any video game you like, whatever. So yeah, needless to say, we have the Star Wars Lego trilogy now. Another benefit of doing
Well, and how is your dog doing? I have to ask.
She's so when we shot the film, she's actually done a few commercials before. She's a rescue, and so we weren't sure how she would, but we training wise, she was excellent. She's really smart. When we shot the movie, she was 8. And so, she kind of helped a lot. She kind of stole the show, like being able to get her to tap Jack in the stomach and do that 4 or 5 times in a row was great, and getting her to stay and
on
you know,
cue. Yeah.
yeah, everything. And just she was probably as far as being on cue and taking direction, she was easily the best out of all our actors. You know, easily. And we have some great actors, but she's I think she's in here somewhere. But yeah, so she's
a natural, let's say.
Natural and no weird dinner requests or anything like that. No weird lunches. It was great. So
goes to bed on time. Everything.
Yeah, it was amazing. She's the only family member that stayed with me in the house after everyone left.
Wow.
But yeah, and her trailer was super small.
Yeah,
It was easy. You
no
just pick her up.
demands. Yes,
none.
Well, I know when we talked, and we can come back to this, but when we did talk a few months ago, you said you would never use your house again for another movie. But I understand that you've changed your mind. So there's a little bit of a spoiler there. But the reason why we're all here, other than to talk about your film and what your next projects are, and that is what movies are we watching this week? So I thought, let's jump in with the big ones.
You forgot Tim.
Oh, Tim, I'm sorry. Do you have a question for Morley?
Oh,
no, introduce Tim.
No, he did.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We can come, Tim. We can come back to your question.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. I didn't want to get. Yeah. Okay.
No,
It's cool. It's cool. Let's see. So I thought we could start with Halloween. The Halloween franchise, the first Halloween film, is my favorite film. I save it for Halloween Day. I have not watched it yet this year. I have watched the Rob Zombie, his 2 films, but I haven't gone into the others yet. What about you all? What do you watch from the Halloween franchise in October, and especially this week? What will you be watching, if any? I mean, you could say I hate Halloween.
Well, we share Halloween as a favorite film, and that is a Halloween tradition in this house for sure. But I'm going to go with the dark horse entry in the series. I'm going to say Halloween 6, or The Curse of Michael Myers Halloween 6, has some impeccable Halloween vibes, and I think it's unsung, overshadowed perhaps by Halloween 4. But it was the first one I saw in theaters, and it's one that I try and cycle in when I can for those vibes.
Yeah. Do you watch? It is a good one. I appreciate it too. Do you watch the director's cut or the theater?
No, I'm producer's cut all the way. I know there's some silliness. I know there's silliness in that film, and there is a plot point which I don't think we should articulate on this live stream in fear of getting kicked off of YouTube. But there's a plot point that makes me feel extremely icky about it. But I think overall, it's the more interesting film. I do like the sort of MTV aspect of like those brutal kills in the laboratory, but no, it has to be producer's cut for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. What is it? The Cult of Thorn?
Yeah. It's just so interesting. I mean, it's such a left turn, and like unapologetically so.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. How about you, Tim and Morley? What are your picks from the Halloween franchise?
I always watch the classic. I love watching it. I love watching the first and the second kind of back to back. I love watching those 2. The first one's just an amazing movie. But I also enjoy 2018. So the first one of the new trilogy, that is the one that kind of brought me back to the franchise as a whole, even if people have mixed feelings about the rest of them. I quite enjoy 2018 too. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Morley, do you watch any of the Halloween movies?
So the first Halloween movie I ever saw was Halloween 2. Right. So start off with like the dark horse, or I know that's like probably the most unpopular one, right? In the series.
No, I think Resurrection is probably.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, but I mean in the original.
The original
2000s, right? Yeah.
The new one. The new ones. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I love the Halloween aspect of the masks, right? And the idea with before lasers were a thing, not knowing what they actually were and how they worked. But yeah, I think it's tough because Josh Hartnett is from Minnesota, and breaking into the business with H2O. I think, it was interesting. You could see what they're trying to do for that time period. I think if you're living in that time period, it was good. It has that like Dimensions film feel to it, right? The steely kind of films of that era. But I think nostalgia wise, it's Halloween too. But The Shape overall, right? I mean, he's,
Oh,
I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but if we're gonna get into it, I think the Captain Kirk face is does
and
it for
what they
me.
did to it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Fake Voorhees is joining us, and he says he watches 1, 4, and 5 every single year. I do the same. A few others, depending on what he has time for. So what I do on Halloween Day, I start at like 3 or 4 o'clock. I start with 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and then 3 if I can. This year I'm gonna try to do even more because I took the day off so I can start even
nice.
earlier.
Nice.
And I'm at an age in my life where I can't wait to do that and hand out candy and just stay home. And I'm so excited for it. I guess I don't know. Does that make me sound old and lame?
No, that's what I look forward to. So
I relate to that. Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
My wife and I, thankfully, trick or treat is done by like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then we can go downstairs and put in a movie, and that's my night, and I love it. So
awesome.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Do you guys watch the Rob Zombie editions? Do you like his films?
I just bought them 2 months ago. I just picked them up on Blu-ray, a collector's set. I don't hate them. I think that they're Rob Zombie movies. You have to approach them like they're Rob Zombie movies first and not Halloween movies. And if you can, I like anything dealing with Michael Myers, but if you can approach those with an appreciation of the hellbilly vibes, then I think you're going to have a good time. I tend to.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the fan film? There's a fan film out right now that I hear is fantastic, and it's feature length, and it takes place between kills and ends, as I understand it.
It's Halloween Aftermath. Is that Aftermath? Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Jim?
No, I was talking to somebody about it just last week, and he enjoyed it. So I want to check it out.
Speaking of that, I don't know do you guys know, is there actually a Michael Myers versus Batman film coming out?
Oh my!
Have you heard anything?
Like studio or YouTube?
No, fan film.
I'm sure it's on its way.
Okay. I think I read it yesterday or something that's coming out like Halloween Day. I think it's called Halloween Night, KNIT.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And I think it's
got to be
like big budget,
right?
There's a YouTube channel that's done a series of like Batman versus Darth Vader or like random things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is their Halloween film. I'd be excited for that because it is usually very good quality.
That would be interesting.
That would be a lot of fun. And Jay Hook is here, and he likes to stay in and watch Halloween as well. So you are
Jay Hook is the man. I just want to say that I know Jay Hook personally, and he is the man. He did our music for the channel, so he is a fantastic human being.
Awesome, cool. Yeah. Well, he is in the house tonight. Let's see. So I also wanted to talk about the Evil Dead films because I feel like the Evil Dead films are a must in October. I will likely watch the first one this week. I don't know if I'll get beyond that, but how about you all? Do you watch any of the Evil Dead films leading up to Halloween? I guess in theory, I know we don't have a lot of time, but if you could, would you watch Evil Dead?
Yeah, I think time is the issue, right? Like we're pumping. I mean, we're all pumping out content in different ways, from feature films to reviews of things that we haven't seen before. If in a perfect world I were going to watch an Evil Dead film, I really loved Evil Dead Rise, but I'm also, I cut my teeth on Evil Dead 2. So like, and I'll also say I love Army of Darkness. Like I love that movie so much, and I think it gets so crapped on. But one of the things my wife and I bonded over when we were first dating is our mutual love of Army of Darkness.
Medieval Dead.
The sword and sorcery entry into the franchise. Yeah.
All day long.
Yep.
Man, you had me at Army.
Well, it was supposed to be Medieval Dead. I don't know. How do you feel about that title? Do you think that would that have worked better than Army of Darkness? Guess we'll never know.
I've waited a long time to be a dad and to make dad jokes and to get away with that. So Medieval Dead tickles me right in my dad joke. Funny, I'm here for it.
I feel like it matches the humor. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I feel like that's for me. Army of Darkness is where Ash really comes into his like that is, and I think the series. I love the series too that came after. Like in fact, anything with Bruce Campbell generally, but
Yes.
with Ash, it was like I cannot get enough of Ash. And Army of Darkness for me was just like. I mean, the idea
so
that it
good.
opens in like he's been through all the stuff at the cabin and in the woods and all the the Necronomicon and everything else, and he starts off and he's at Walmart as a stock guy is just I think is such a great, and then building on that to have his lever action Winchester available so that he can take down the first witch and he gets to go. And then just it's so much fun, and you have so many. It's so 80s one-liners. Actually, that came out in the 90s, right? Probably.
I think so.
I think
I think it was 92.
it's early. Yeah.
Maybe 91, 92. I
Yeah,
think, but it feels like the
wonderful.
80s. It does
It
feel like
does.
80s film.
It does.
So many awesome, iconic one-liners out of that movie. I just, and you use half of those today, and you probably get, you wouldn't ever work ever again. But at the time, they were hilarious one-liners. Anything to do with the king was like just phenomenal.
I love those bleed over periods, like 95, like The Dentist, where Scream is like about to come out, but like it's still, we're doing 80s slashers in the early 90s. I love that bleed over period. It's like, I don't know, the best of both worlds for me.
Yeah, agreed. Let me see. Jay Hook is giving a shout out to Tucker and Dale versus Evil, one of my favorites. That movie is hysterical. I love it when he's like, "We got your friend," and they all scream and run away.
Yeah,
these kids have gone crazy. Good shout there. Go ahead.
We need more Eli Craig films in the world, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't he just do Clown in the Cornfield?
He did. I loved it. Go on.
Has the sequel been greenlit?
If not, they're crazy people, honestly. Like I know it's divisive, and I know there's going to be people who are in the comments going, it's entry-level horror, but I think there's a place in the canon for it, and I had a blast watching it. I just watched it with Joe Bob the other night. Not with Joe Bob. I was watching Joe Bob watch it.
It's the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I think entry-level, even if it is entry-level is essential to the genre.
Yes.
There's a place for it. So I agree. I mean, people who say I do think it's entry level, but I don't think that's a problem. So it was a fun film to watch. I walked away enjoying it, even if it has its flaws. It was a great film, and I enjoyed the second book way more than the first. So I'm really hoping for the sequel, because I thought the second book was an improvement. So I am excited to see if Eli Craig gets to do the sequel or not.
I share your opinion entirely.
Awesome.
How different? Exactly. I haven't read the books. How different is the sequel? Or how different is it from the first?
It's a Scream 2 style. Yeah, it's the Scream 2 style vibe where she goes to college and her friends are sort of across the country. She goes to college back in Philadelphia. Everybody else is in Missouri. And it is a much more organized, much more nation-spanning threat. I don't think it's, well, I don't want to spoil anything for those people who haven't seen the movie, but yeah, the threat is much more organized and much more widely available. And there's some really interesting characters. It is just as twisty as the first book. And I'll say the movie streamlines itself. So you lose one big twist from the film, but I don't want my slasher to be more than 90 minutes. I'm not, it's perfect.
Nailed it. Yes.
Yeah. So to take some plot elements out was in the movie's best interest. And I know that also rubbed some of like the diehard book people the wrong way, but the movie can only sustain itself for, maybe 100 minutes if we're pushing it. So yeah, it's the book is twistier than the movie, and the second book is twistier than the first. I have not finished the third book yet. If Adam Caesar, if you're watching, I'm going to get on it. I promise.
You're ahead of me. I haven't read any of them, but I do own them. I buy books and then I never read them. You did finish?
I did finish the third. Yes. Okay. And I'll just leave it at that.
My wife loved it for what it's worth. She's in the other room right now.
That one, it gave me, it was very twisty on the first two books. The third one definitely went into, I am brain farting, like Wicker Man territory for me. Ooh. So that was keeping it fresh again.
Lots of bees, right?
Yeah, definitely. Not the bees.
So I take it there's a lot of singing and cult.
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna spoil much for you, but
It's called Church of Friendo. So
yep,
yeah.
it took a
Yes.
Wicker Man turn. So
Yeah.
So
I'll
how do you-
pick that back up.
So
Go
I'm
ahead,
curious,
Morley.
how do you guys watch films? Like, how do you, as aficionados and experts and critics,
oh
how
my.
do you consume a film?
That's a big question. Physically on the biggest screen in my house with a notebook and a book light in the dark. I'm a fountain pen collector. If folks are interested in my other
Oh, that's
weird
so
hobby.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
gosh.
I've got one. I love it. It writes so nice.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If I'm going to be writing a lot, it's going to be pleasurable. Damn it. But outside of that,
I have to ask,
think-
so are you like a fountain pen pro, or do you get it all over your fingers sometimes?
Look, we wear our inky fingers with pride. When you're filling your pens is where it happens most. You
Yes.
graze the bottle and you're like, son of a.
The price to pay.
But yeah, it's the price you pay. I find that shampoo takes it off really well, and like the scrubbies, the green side of the green and yellow scrubbies, you'll be
yeah.
all right.
Ooh, magic erasers. Yeah. Vince,
Right?
go ahead.
Yeah.
I cut you off. I hope I didn't completely kill your train of thought.
You're good. I think mentally, though, is the question that is the more important question when you're asking how you consume film. For me, because our channel ethos is coming in, trying to find something to love about every film. Because even if it's just the fact that it got completed and shown to an audience one time, is a huge accomplishment.
It's impressive.
Right? We ran a theater company for 12 years, and we know what it's like to not have a champion out there for your work. And when you find those champions, to not overtax them and tell them, come see this, come see this. So we want to be that voice, knowing what it's like to put that work into making the work. And outside of trying to find something positive, just taking a film on its own terms. And that comes with experience, learning genre, learning structure, learning how a plot will play out, and then being surprised when the film is meant to surprise you. Much like your film, Morley, I have to say, I was about an hour into the film, I was like, what? He did that? That is out of this world cool, because it plays beat for beat like you're watching a zombie movie, and then you're not. And so allowing yourself to be surprised and leaving the cynicism at the door and embracing positivity is much more concise on how I would say I watch a film. I know that was a long answer, and I'm sorry.
I don't know how to follow that up though. So that was excellent.
Well, I just want to say that Jay Hook is saying it was a fantastic question. So
Yeah.
Tim, I put you on the spot, or do you want me to jump in?
Yeah, so I love what you had to say, Vince.
Thank you.
I definitely take it as I don't collect physical media to the extent that, say, Aaron does.
Who does?
But I mean, but I do love.
Work in progress.
My wife won't let me own more than one copy of a movie if I have it already. She's like, "You can't buy that. That's money." Like, okay, but I love the idea. Like, I also collect vinyl and books. And I am somebody who, I'm at that point in my life, I guess I'm getting older, where, music today, movies today, content today in general doesn't hit the same as stuff that was made in the 80s, the 90s, older and back. And I think that has a lot to do with our perspective and mentality when we go into it, because back then you had to seek something out because it caught your attention. And so you gave it more attention when you had your time with it, whether that was a single on the radio, a trailer at the beginning of a film, or, or on your VHS, going to Blockbuster and seeing it on the shelf and kind of having that relationship with the physical media first, and then taking it home. So when I consume any kind of like my vinyl or my movies, I go and I'm looking through the shelves and I'm choosing this to spend the next 2 hours of my time with that content. And that means, like, I put my phone in the other room. I don't want to be on my phone. If I am recording if I'm watching a movie specifically to talk about on my channel, I'll have my iPad and keyboard there to take notes while I do it. But it is, if I'm sitting down to enjoy a film, I am spending the next 2 hours with that film. Same with a record or a book. I will choose to set aside all distractions and consume what I'm in so I can immerse myself in what that has to offer.
I love that. I think that is spot on as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, Aaron, go ahead. I'm curious to hear how you
yeah,
do it.
I mean, I consume it in multiple ways, whether it's on my iPad or in my basement movie room. Probably most get watched in my basement because I have my 4K Blu-ray player. All my movies are down here. And you guys may laugh at this, I love going to the gym at lunchtime because there's a gym right across the street from where I live, and watching movies on my phone while I do cardio. I realize although I do have the Pro, so it's not that small of a screen.
It's a decent
But what I love about it is that there's no distractions. So I put my AirPods in and I can watch the film. And it may not be the best experience, but then what I like to do is to come home and rewatch the film. So Morley, actually, I experienced Uncontained that way at the gym. I don't know if I ever admitted that to you, but the first time I watched it was on my phone. And then I came home and I rewatched it on the big screen. And it's a very different experience. But what I love about it is that it's sort of my time where there's no distractions. No one's going to bother me unless the woman on next to me answers the phone and talks as loud as she can. And I
sounds
know
like something.
If you're watching, I know who you are.
But at the end of the day, though, I think that's something that we all have to face as a reality. We're all super busy, and I would rather people be watching film and watching independent film, if at all possible,
yes,
in whatever way works for their life. And so if you have to be doing something physical, maybe not something mental or something that's distracting on your phone, or, if you have to be doing something while you're watching it, watch it. That's the first step.
Man, I remember when being able to watch a movie on your phone was a new thing and how exciting that was.
Yeah.
I wanted to, so they had the long walk. They had those movie theaters with treadmills set up for the long walk. I wanted to do that, but there was none playing near me. I was all for that.
Right. I've been mall walking for 2 straight years. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
You're ready for it, right? Mall walking, waiting for Dawn of the Dead to happen.
I lost 100 pounds mall walking. I'm here. I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess I'll open it up to all of you. What movies would you like to talk about? What movies will you be watching this week? And then Morley, we can circle back with some more questions about Uncontained.
I've got one if no one wants to jump in on this.
Go for it.
I love this film every time I watch it. I think it's slept on. It's gonna be out there. I might surprise you a little bit with this one, but it is a regular yearly watch for me. The animated film Monster House.
Yes.
From 2006.
That's good.
2006. It is just,
yes.
I still, as an adult, I find it hilarious. Still, it captures Halloween vibes perfectly. Yeah, beautiful little story. Yes. I love that film. I watch it every year, sometimes multiple times a year. When I was teaching, I showed it to my students. I don't know, probably copyright against that, but they'd never seen it. They loved it too. I love that film. I love Monster House. More people need to remember that on their Halloween rotation. It's not just a kid's film. It's a good film.
Mm-hmm. It's
the whole
so
story
touching.
behind it.
Such a touching story, right? Like when you get to the end, you're just like, wow, that is and it starts off as like you think you're going into a kid's movie, and the story and I think the pacing and the story, and maybe we can talk about some pacing for a second, but I think that the way it comes off, it was made during that like uncanny valley period of CG, right? Yeah. And it didn't matter because the story was so good, right? Like I don't think I spend more than a second thinking about the animation style because the story is so fantastic. The character's great. Buscemi is phenomenal as voice actor in that movie. Like, he carries that movie. Like you're just like, whoa, and that's impressive with all the voice acting in that movie. But the idea of not letting go and finding your soulmate and all that, tangled in so that kids can understand it, but adults enjoy it was a feat that I think is 1,000,000% monster. That is a phenomenal film.
it pulls on the heartstrings
Okay.
just enough. It's so because it does start you off. Buscemi's character, you're like, oh, this is the villain, and then you end up sympathizing with him so much. I just love that film, directed by Gil Kennan, who did the Poltergeist remake in 2015, and most recently did Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. But that's all I really know him from. But I just love I'm a sucker for some long shots, long takes in films. And I know it's totally different in animation, but Monster House uses quite a few from the opening shot of following a leaf breaking off the tree and down through the street as kids are coming at, like, it's so good. So good. So that was my offering on underrated Halloween choice.
Can I jump in?
That's great.
Another question for you guys.
Sure.
So I liked what Vince said about how he watches, and then to kind of piggyback off of Tim, and then also Aaron tying in all three with how you like physically how you watch it. It's interesting to me if you go into the frame of mind, like I am watching or I'm consuming something that was made in this time frame, right? And the pacing from that time frame, I think if you don't do that and you're not set up for that, the pacing is so drastically different today than it was from anything you watch in the 70s or even some of the 90s films. Like like up into the inciting incident for a lot of films up until maybe the 2010s feels really long if you're not prepared for it, right? Compared to today. And then today, if you watch, like sometimes I get in this rut where I watch like Alien, and then I'll watch Jaws, and then I'll watch, it's a lot of 70s horror.
That's a
and then
rut.
you jump, but then you jump into something now, and it's, I realize a lot of it is studio saying, well, in the first 5 minutes we have to have the main character, the villain, the creature, boobs, now not boobs, and then a kill, and it's just like that drastically reduces the opportunity to slowly introduce these characters and the setting and because the pace is just bam, bam, bam. And I think what Tim alluded to, and then Aaron, I think as well, is our attention span now is geared towards, I have to have it quick, right? Because what's the next thing? And maybe that goes back to Clown in the Cornfield too. It's just like, I want this, I'm going to consume it. What's next? Like, this is great. Okay, but what's the next slasher I'm going to watch? Because there's 15 more I need to see. And it's like, back when we were growing up, it was, you had to sit through a commercial. I think we're getting back to that now with AVOD, right? Thank God. But sitting through trailers, that used to be like my most exciting part a lot of times, because I didn't know what the movie was about. We didn't spoil movies like we did.
And it was the only way to consume the trailers. We didn't have
Yeah.
smartphones. We didn't have tablets.
My wife makes fun of me. She's like, we can be half an hour late to the movie. I'm like, no, we can't.
No.
I want to see the trailers.
I just, before I forget, Beanzo's here. I just want to give him. He said
Beanzo's also the man. That we got some good people in this chat.
Excellent. So yeah, Morley, that's an excellent question. I completely hear what you're saying, because sometimes horror movies now, there's no build-up, there's no character development, and they end up being forgettable because they go right to that, that plot point, the end of the first act, without any character development, and you end up just not really caring.
I am definitely a sucker for the late 70s, early 80s pacing of films. I quite honestly get turned off by the early 2000s pacing of films when it is really flashy, hyper edited. It's not my thing. Oh, man, but like the pacing in films like Rosemary's Baby, just perfection. Perfection. You are just slowly rooted to that chair, creeping dread to a powerful ending. And I think that's one of the keys to your pacing, is how well you can end it. Nailing that ending, man.
And what is lost when we lose that pacing? When I think about we talk about this. I have a side channel where it's more editorial on TikTok. And again, TikTok, you can only handle what, 90 seconds if you're going to do it right, like under a minute flies.
Yeah.
But I brought
Mhm.
up the quote from Anne Radcliffe, and I pulled it up here just because I want to make sure I have it right. She talks about how terror feeds the soul, and horror annihilates it, and essentially the difference between the two. Terror being
Mm.
the long, slow process and the suspense, where horror is the reveal of the monster. And I think one without the other lessens the impact of the horror, because we're not getting rid of the horror. The monster is what we put on t-shirts. The monster gets the NECA Ultimate Action figure, of which I have many in this room. I love the monster,
You're in good
but I
company.
love oh my God, I don't mean to plug anybody. I'm just a happy customer.
Of course.
But the monster is the money, but it doesn't work without the terror leading up to it. And
Mhm.
of course, we have the chase sequences that are so necessary for a good slasher film, and those are also a phenomenal blending of the terror and the horror. But I think that it's the relationships that we establish early in the film that make us care about the characters as
Yes.
they're picked off one at a time. There's also something interesting that I think that happens specifically in a slasher movie that we lose when we don't have good pacing. And it's that the slasher is the sense of justice coming to right some wrong, maybe out of balance. Maybe, your babysitter didn't pay attention to you, so you have to kill the whole town of Haddonfield. It's not quite the appropriate response, but there is some sort of misplaced sense of justice. And we relate to the slasher for 2/3 of the movie. We're like, yeah, get him. Come on, Jason, let's do this. These counselors suck. But
Mhm.
there has
Mhm.
to be a point where we switch our allegiances to the final girl. And I see a lot of the time, and I'm a Terrifier fan. Right behind me, over here, I have the clown neck ultimate. But in things like Terrifier, I don't know that switch quite happens. And I think we're still rooting for Art, which is maybe why I find that first film to be a bit mean-spirited. And so I'm
Mhm.
You're
concerned about the slasher genre going forward if we can't recapture that cross-gender, for us male viewers, empathy, or the empathy for the final girl in general. So I think that a
Mm.
lot of that has to do with pacing early in the film and setting her up as a believable, relatable, everyday kind of person that we want to see be the counterweight on that scale of justice. That was really heady, and I went on for too long, and I'm sorry.
No, I think
you're
immediately when you're getting into that, Vince, I was thinking about Trick or Treat. When you talk about there has to be something that makes you want. You're like, oh, I mean, I don't even know if you necessarily want it. You're like, oh, this person's gonna get it because they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have smashed that pumpkin, right?
Yep.
Or she shouldn't have dissed Halloween, right? And you're
Yeah.
just like,
Mhm.
you know,
Sacrilege. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, right. And you're like, are you stupid? Have you not seen a horror movie? And you're like, well,
Right.
that's really good writing because I'm arguing with a fictional character. But
Yeah.
and then I think in Trick or Treat, which is great, is you do have that final girl in I can't remember her name, but the savant.
Rhonda.
Yes,
Yes.
right.
Rhonda.
All of a sudden you switch and you pull for her, almost to the point where you're like, she went from victim to like final
Mhm.
girl, right? When
Yeah.
hits the switch and she goes up in the elevator and leaves the jerks, by themselves. And same thing with the werewolves. Like there's that female empowerment, I think, which is great when they flip the switch on. Gosh, what's his name? The principal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the
Think of
serial
his
killer, the
name.
guy from
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
He's fantastic in that film too. I
Oh,
feel bad that I don't know
yes.
his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw some
He's very
awesome cosplay of
with
the
him.
Red
Yeah.
Riding Hood and the vampire mask in Kentucky and Scarefest, and I had to stop them. Like, you guys are fantastic! Oh my god!
That's
Awesome.
so cool. The tables turned so well with him with the whole
Yes.
transformation scene. There's so many elements of that film that are just brilliant. The way everything comes together, the way they, like I said, turn the tables, the way there's so much unexpected things that happen, but you go along with it because it's just fantastic. I do
And
want
the
to give
rare slasher anthology. What a wild concept!
Yeah.
absolutely yes. I want to give a shout out. Under the Floorboards
you.
is here. Thank you for joining, and we also
Thank you.
have Our Life in Horror. Thank you for
Hey.
jumping on. That's awesome, guys.
Vince brought up, I think is essential and something we
Mhm.
miss a lot. And I agree with what you're saying, is about that characters that we want to root for. And
Mhm.
the other thing that is fantastic about slashers is in slashers, there's often a significant portion of the cast that you hate, and they are written. If it's any good, they are written
Yeah.
for you to hate them, and that's that sense of justice thing. But I can't think of another genre of film where that is the way to do it. What other genre writes characters for you to hate?
Yeah. You could read the reviews of that film out of context and be like, oh, that's a terribly written film. But yeah, no, they're written for that purpose. They are the metaphorical representations of the injustices done in the past almost.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that's the key for horror, is that as much as it gets, shat on in Hollywood for being not a true, it's not a real genre, right? Like everyone, I am so sick of when I tell people like, hey, I shot a movie. Do you, do you want to check it out or whatever? And these are people that I've worked with for years. And they're like, oh yeah, what was it about? And it's like, oh, it's a horror about, and then instantly they're like, I'm just like, what is that?
They dismiss it. Yes. Your film is so smart, and it does everything that we're saying is needed. The character development, the sort of new handling of the genre and treating it, giving new life to it, let's say. And
I'm going to say how beautiful it is. I just going to throw in there how beautifully shot
how
that film
beautiful it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And how icy cold it is. Which leads me to what I wanted to ask you, Morley, before I forget. Like I said early on, you said you would never use your house again for a film. And I can see that you are doing some construction behind you. Can you say a little bit about why you have construction going on? I know why, but I just want you to share with everyone else. See the windows. You may recognize those windows. They're
bulletproof,
right?
Yeah, exactly. And you can still smell the stink. No, I'm kidding. So we have a prequel that we're going to start shooting in February, last week of very tail end of January, and then mostly February. I can't spoil too much of what it is, but we're hoping to do that in February in a lot more snow and a lot more cold. And I hope, I also said I would never be naked in the snow again, but apparently if you take a note out of Tom Cruise's playbook, all the stunts and everything have to be bigger and better. So I don't know if I get more naked, but I'll be in more snow. How's that? And then
my gosh,
there'll be a lot more stunts. We have a budget for this one, so we'll be able to do a lot more of what I wanted to incorporate in the first one that I was just unable to do with the tiny budget that we had. And then just again kind of doing a deeper dive into the man and the wife character and what got them there and everything leading up to that. So we'll see. I think the key now is just to get ready, everything prepped, and it's one of those things where you want to share it with everybody right away. I think that's the problem with writing having a script and people liking it and saying like, oh, I got to share it, but you got to get it done and you got to execute and so we're in that pre-production process now, but bringing a lot of the same crew back and working a lot with the same people, and my family will be in it again too, but it's easy to talk to you guys, so maybe I should be quiet now because I'm
yes. I don't want you to give anything away that you don't want to, that you might regret, because this is live, so I can't edit it out.
The video disappears from YouTube tomorrow.
Gone.
Let us know how we can help. Keep us on your media list. I loved Uncontained, and whatever we can do to be a voice for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's
very exciting.
I never thought in a million years that I'd be talking about a film that connected with people. It's just a really weird. It's just I think in this industry it's so easy to be negative and be worried, and especially in a time where production is down 68%, and I don't take it as a good sign when you see A-listers doing coffee commercials. Yeah. So it's kind of like, wow, no one is, and all the jobs kind of went to Ireland, and and talking about even just 5 years ago, if the Clown in the Cornfield, it would have been after the first week, they would have announced the sequel.
Yep.
Right. and we're just in really weird times. And so I think, especially, it was really awesome that all of you have championed independent film, because it's very, very difficult to get something from a creator's heart onto film, onto the screen, and not have interference from bigger people or the money people or whoever has the ability to say yes or no, which is it's just difficult, right? And you have people all along the way that are saying no, right? You have all kinds of people that, before you even have a semi-finalized script, you have a bunch of people trying to give you notes, and a lot of times people that have never even written anything, right? And that kind of, I think that sets the table for a lot of doubt. So you have to figure out, either you're going to do it and be like, I think James Cameron, I'm going to paraphrase, said it really well. A really good producer never accepts no for an answer, but all they say is no. So, I think you kind of have to go with that frame of mind. Like, I'm going to get this done, and nothing's going to stand in the way. We'll just figure it out. But yeah.
It's sad, because now is when horror is needed the most, and I don't, horror is the screen which we project our fears onto, and we deal with them in an externalized manner. And there are plenty of fears, no matter where you sit and what your beliefs are. There's fear top to bottom, and we need to figure that out if we're going to move past it. And horror is a wonderful vehicle for us to do that in a safe and controlled manner. So the fact that you're out here making these films, and you're going to get me with parenting fear any day of the week. Like I said, I have an almost 2-year-old and another one on the way. Good parenting horror is what I'm like primarily interested in. I'm still a slasher guy at heart, but never going to miss me with that. So I'm interested to see what you do next.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, same here. Very exciting. I just want to show Jay Hook says, happy to support. We won't tell anyone. So you have his support. And we have this from Beanzo, wants to know, where do we watch Uncontained? So I'll let you take that one.
Thanks, Beanzo. You can watch it on Amazon Prime if you have a membership, or Tubi.
I checked it out on Screenbox, if that's helpful for anyone.
Oh yeah, Screenbox too. That one too. But yeah, mostly I think if you can check it on Prime, it helps us the most.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, and then Tubi. It's insane that, like, I would have never guessed a year ago even that I didn't know what SEO was. I didn't know what, I had no idea what trending or what you do or need to do and I'm horrible on TikTok, and I'm not even great on, I think I have 5 followers on Instagram. Thank you guys.
It's us.
But to know that it all matters, and then to be overwhelmed by it's weird to have people review something that you did and you're like, oh my gosh, I got attention. And you don't even care if it's good or bad. You're just like, oh, I got something, whatever. And then to have people actually be able to reach out and talk to people directly is awesome. Like, it's just phenomenal. And not having to actually go to a film festival to meet a lot of people, being able to just do it virtually is fantastic. Like, it's like what we're doing now is just so awesome to be able to do.
Yeah. Agreed. And your film is awesome. And the fact that folks are consuming it is spectacular and giving mostly positive feedback, but even negative feedback. At least they're consuming it and voicing their opinion, and you're getting that interaction. And that's all you can ask for, right?
Exactly. I'll take it. Like, I love looking at threads where there's one of the videos, somebody posted a recut of the trailer, just the trailer on YouTube, and it has over like 1.7 million views. And there are 300 comments arguing over whether the dog lived or not. And it was funny to interject and look through. And I answered some of the people. I was like, first of all, there's a website you can check out. Does the dog live?
Yes.
Right. So you can always check that out before you watch a movie and then decide to watch it. And the other thing is, I'm telling you, yes, she does live. And then somebody wrote, well, yes, he did, in all caps. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure my dog is a girl. It's arguing with me over, or somebody commented, I'm like, I get a lot of stuff sometimes on IMDb or whatever, and they're like, the child actors were horrible. And I'm just like, especially the girl or whatever. I'm like, she was 2. Like, there's no acting involved. Like, with that, you think she was like in her process and not, responding well to the reacting well to the other
Oh my
impetus.
gosh.
Like, no, like, oh yeah, she didn't get to A and B, and so her acting, just like she was.
Fire her acting coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Who's in charge of these kids?
Yeah. What the hell? What school do they? What Juilliard is really getting bad.
Yeah, right. Of all the
They just
comments
let
you've
anyone in.
seen,
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there like what's the craziest comment that comes to mind about your
I get a
film?
lot of racist ones. IMDb is
okay.
fantastic about taking it down immediately.
Yeah.
Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, not so much. Instagram's pretty good. I think TikTok is excellent, doing it pretty quickly. But I get a lot of, I get about 4 or 5 a week.
Oh my gosh.
Commenting about just, me or some physical attribute or some, just some racist comment. And then there's some words I didn't even know existed to describe
wow.
me. So I was just like, wow, that's interesting. But
That's insane.
one I do enjoy is, they say never Google yourself, but because I'm so closely knit into the film as I'm on the one sheet and everything. So I'll Google myself every now and then. And the second most Googled question about me is my jaw. Like, people are typing in, like, searching Morley Nelson jaw. And so I'll get that question every now and then, like, is it real? Or some of the best comments I've seen are like, the main character's jaw is like a wee character. And I think that's like fantastic. Because I'm just like, yeah, it is like a wee character. Try shaving. Like, it takes days to shave this jaw. Like, it's, but I'll take that any day of the week. Like, it shows that people are, invested or whatever, or the arguments or whatever. I could do without the racist stuff, but again, at least they're watching it, and I was able to touch a nerve at some point, which means they're emotionally responding to it, which is also fine. So, but I have to be 1,000,000% frank. We've had like 99% positive reviews and reactions, and
Awesome.
It's been fantastic. So I am ultimately grateful, and I just, again, I think, like, just talking to you guys, something that I think Tim said it was, what other genre has this sense of community, right? Like, I'm being classically trained as a theater major. You do theater. Theater people are tight, right? But as far as a genre community goes, like, you just don't have. And maybe I'm just not aware, but I don't think there's like drama communities on Instagram or Facebook, right? Or
you got a little hard to
the
find
rom-com club.
Yeah, right.
Man, the superhero clubs turning on each other every movie that comes out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's
there.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
friction there.
But that was my first genre. But
Okay.
I have a question here from Beanzo. Did you use Kickstarter?
No, we were fortunate enough, Beanzo, to get I had a investor who believed in the project, and they had the 55,000, and we were able to just green light it from there. I was able to do that with an incredible assistant director who was able to schedule everything. We had a 15-day shoot, and we actually wrapped in 14 days. And
that is unheard of.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. Like, just and not a jerk, not a yeller. I think because she understood story so well, she was able, if we had an issue where it was like too cold to shoot that day, these certain scenes or whatever, then she'd say, okay, we can switch this day with this day, and we'll switch the scenes just on the fly. And she was phenomenal. But she also did the old school scheduling where she's sitting on the floor and she has every scene laid out on paper, and then she put it all together, and then she put it into the app. I can't remember which app she used, but might have been Umbrella. But anyhow, she was phenomenal and allowed for that. And then just working so succinctly with the crew and the DP and we had a prop master art department guy named Jason Dean Thomas, who was fantastic at creating stuff from scratch, but also he was like on it, like first there, last to leave, asking questions like, oh, is this supposed to be in the scene? I mean, working with continuity, working with like, do you need this? Can I help you with this? And he was indicative of kind of the attitude of everyone, all hands on deck helping, which was nice. But yeah, I think It's financing today is really tough. And I know Shelby Oaks has been getting a lot of, crap for their Kickstarter or whatever, but film financing today, it's been hard forever, but for indie film today, it's virtually impossible. I mean, there is just, which is insane to me because horror in 2025 so far has done $1.3 billion in business, right? More than last year and more than any other genre, right? And yet we don't get studios kicking in. I mean, the superhero stuff obviously is a moneymaker for them, but it is, yes, exactly. Like it is tanking.
Down.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, this is the year for horror. And it's like, have we really had that many horrors come out? I mean, have we had that many horrors come out compared to the 80s or 90s or any other period in time? Like a lot of the stuff I think that we fell in love with horror growing up with was because they had so many different horror movies coming out every single year, right? It was always of their 5 on their slate of 5 films, 1 or 2 were always horror. And that's where you get the really weird, I mean, not even just horror, even like science fiction, right? Like Highlander would have never been made today by a studio, right? Army of Darkness, just absolutely no way. And that was Sam Raimi's 5th movie, 6th movie by then?
Yeah.
And we just don't have that. I think if you have the right connections with the right people, that, like anything in life, probably allows you to have whatever franchise today is getting onto a 3 or 4. They're very fortunate. And I think, again, do you have that kind of community fan base that's positive that allows for that to happen other than horror, right? And I think that all leads back to what, we were talking about before. It's horror is in good horror in general is not only cathartic, but it is a metaphor for something, right? Like the filmmaker in horror, you can actually say something, whereas and sci-fi maybe to a lesser extent, but a lot of drama is, here's my sucky life. I wrote a book about it, and this is the adaptation about the book about my sucky life, and we should all share in that. And it's just like, and that can be fine, but I don't. If I'm ever in the moment where I'm like, oh, I'm going to see what's available on Tubi tonight, or I'm going to see what's available on Netflix or HBO, whatever, I don't ever look through dramas and go, oh yeah, I really want to check that. I'll take a chance on that one. Right.
Yeah,
Whereas,
and maybe I'll feel even more depressed afterwards.
Right. I mean, life is hard enough.
It's the biggest fight with my wife. She wants to be
gosh.
more depressed. She wants to watch that. And I'm like, no, give me the horror movie.
The new Bruce Springsteen movie is a real downer. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I don't want to digress there. Morley, something jumped out that you were saying that there were days when it was too cold. Wasn't it like negative 40 degrees every day? What was too cold?
Well, so it was negative. So at negative 13 was the average day. And especially, so you get into a moment we were shooting in January where at night is actually warmer than it is during the day. And so the night shoots were pretty good.
Can't imagine.
But then during the day, if the wind is too much, it's really tough on the equipment. So, the camera operator, the AC puller who's doing focus, their fingers aren't working as well. They can't, the camera crew can't swap out batteries. And, your battery life is, I think it's like a quarter of what it normally would be because the cold drains batteries so quickly.
Wow.
So you got to swap those out and have a lot of those, and they have to be charging. And then, so you have that. And then even the lens, if they can't move the lens, swap the lenses out fast enough, they freeze and they get frost on them. So it's an issue of can the equipment, the people, because we shot with local crew, we're just kind of used to it. I mean, the actors from LA, and I'm not going to give away who they were, but I had more than one actor call me and say, I don't want to sound weird or anything, but are my eyeballs going to freeze? And I'm just like, no, your eyeballs don't freeze. It's a good question, but
you just can't blink.
No, exactly. Yeah. Or blink a lot. Whatever you do, you have to blink a lot. And people, won't that affect my acting? I'm like, no, don't. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But
I keep thinking of Audrey at the beginning of the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when she's frozen out in the snow. I
love
joked a
that
little
movie.
bit there.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Christmas
We
must.
do have a question from Beanzo. What is one thing that he should know before watching Uncontained?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I
The
love
whole premise is don't know anything going in. That's a great question. And yeah, nothing.
Mhm.
If you can know nothing before going in, that would be great. If you weren't watching me now, that would have been even better.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a really good answer.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We could talk about your movie the whole time, but
Yeah.
maybe we could jump back into a few other films that we watch in October. Maybe like a genre. Do you guys want to talk about like zombie films or werewolf films? What come to mind? Some specific subgenres. Maybe
I don't have
zombies
a
first. Go ahead.
So
Vince.
I don't have a specific subgenre Halloween film. My Halloween film subgenre is haunt films, which is like haunt
Haunted houses.
or or and it's specifically like going to a staged haunted house. Like Hellfest is on the list. But one
Hellfest
that
is
I want to
great.
right.
Yeah,
And one
yeah.
that I want to plug before we dive into the genre stuff is Hayride to Hell, which is a new film from last year, starring Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder. Bill Moseley plays a farmer trying to save his farm. Kane Hodder's the sheriff trying to take it. And he says, okay, if you could survive one night on my haunted hayride, and if I don't scare you, you can take my farm. And just pandemonium ensues. But I want to plug this just because of a specific thing that the proceeds benefit the producer, of course, but he set up a trust to save his own farm to preserve it for generations. So it's a piece of farmland that he's going to leave to his trust, and the proceeds of the film benefit the trust to preserve his own farm. Is it flawless? No. Is it a ton of Halloween fun? Yes, and it has two living legends in the two lead roles. So I highly recommend Hayride to Hell. That's my plug for my favorite Halloween
I have
film.
not seen it. I'm writing it down.
I
Hayride to
think,
Hell.
and I'm speaking out of school here, please don't quote me on this, but I think they're getting a release with maybe Halloween Feast is doing a physical release, a double feature with Hayride to Hell. So yeah, might be something to keep your eyes on.
I'll have to, I'll look into that. I was just at the Cinema Salem screening of Halloween Feast, and I did the Q&A.
That is a movie unlike anything I have ever seen. It is a wild
good.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Before I forget, Beanzo is asking if anyone has seen Onyx, The Fortuitous, and The Talisman of Souls.
I have not seen either, but remind me of those, man, next time we're chatting in the comments, because I'll add those to my watch list if you're recommending them.
Yeah, I don't know those either.
Yeah, Talisman of Souls sounds familiar. It's tough when I think that's the hard thing when people bring up like, have you seen this? And then if you don't have like it has this actor in it, or how many conversations in your life or on a daily basis do you have where someone's like, have you seen this? And it's got the guy from The Thing with the other thing, and he was that thing in The Thing. And you're just like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like just like we did with Trick or Treat. Like, oh, the guy that was the principal, he was in, Briscoe County Jr. with Ash, right? Like, but yeah.
I need my wife here because she's my
Kevin
living
Bacon
letterboxed. Right? Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, my wife is my living letterboxed account. I'm like, Sarah, did we see this? And she's like, yes, you've seen it 8 times. We own it on DVD. You were talking about upgrading this last week.
Yeah, it sounds like my wife. So apparently that's one movie. Onyx, The Fortuitous, and The Talisman of Souls.
I wondered.
Like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yeah, it's Onyx, The Fortuitous. So the cover art, I pulled it up. The cover art looks awesome. I want to check it out.
The balls on the writer to name it that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it's Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs.
Wow.
I am beyond sold on this. I ran into Jeffrey Combs at Scarefest last week talking about his movie Lily Lives Alone. Martin Melnick was on our podcast, and he was just a joy to talk to. And Jeffrey Combs, being the generous man he is, he's like, let's take a picture together and we'll send it to Martin. And I was like, I'm not paying you for a selfie. He's like, no, you just send it to Martin and that's the payment. And I was like, Jeffrey, you are like, I think the world of that man. And I had to just interject that. I'm sorry. He's the coolest dude. I will check this out immediately.
Yeah, me too. I've never heard of it.
No.
So speaking of haunts, like Hellfest and Haunt, those two go together perfectly. It's like an awesome double feature. The House is October Built comes to mind. The sequel, those are excellent films.
But wait, have you seen the 2011 version of The House is October Built? Like the demo version of it? It's available on Shudder. they re-recorded the whole movie for the theatrical release. So there's this like gritty,
Oh.
like run and gun documentary version of that film. The plot is it's similar, but like it's not high def enough, so they couldn't just reshoot sequences. Although like The Wicked Witch of the West is inserted in like different aspect ratio. But it's
Mhm.
wild to see their trial run of that film from like 5 years previous. Don't quote me on the length of time that passed between them, but check it out on Shudder. It's called The House is October Built. I turned it on and I was like, this doesn't sound like the
This
thing that
isn't
everybody told
right.
me to watch. Yeah. But I honestly kind of prefer it because it feels so actual documentary like and run and gun. It's wild.
I wonder if it's on the
It's a
Blu.
triple.
Is it? I do have it. I wonder if it's on.
I know that it was just released maybe 2 years ago on Shudder for the first time, so I don't know when the Blu-ray
Oh, so
was
probably not.
released.
Okay.
But now it's a triple feature for you. It's worth your time.
Yeah, there you go. What are some other haunts or haunted house type films that you watch in October? 33. I think that's Rob Zombie. That's kind
The
of a
Fun
haunt.
House, Toby Hooper's The Fun House.
Oh yeah,
Does
that's
that
a good
count?
one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another anthology called Amusement that no one really talks about that has some pretty good segments in it. That's
I'll
one to
have to
check
check
out
that
too
out.
if you're looking for a new Halloween themed anthology. It's pretty good.
I'm a sucker for the old black and white films, and I have to go back to Vincent Price in The House on Haunted Hill. That's
Yes.
a classic
Must-
haunted house film.
Yeah.
His relationship with his wife in that film is just so batshit. I love it.
I watched Curse of the Reaper on Aaron's recommendation, and they're watching that film in the movie, and then I was like, apparently that film's in the public domain now. No one renewed
really?
it. And so that's why you'll see it in a lot of indie horror films. It'll be on people's TVs and stuff because it's in the public domain. They can use it.
If I had all the time in the world, I would go through and do an old school style like horror host, like segments intercut with all of those public
Oh
domain
my
films.
gosh.
It's like a dream of mine to
Oh,
be like
yes.
independently wealthy and just
Sven
become
Lully?
just become a completely off the wall character and just like introduce those films. I love them all so
Be
much.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have my Vincent Price NECA Ultimate on my desk right over there. And then they released the black and white one, and I was like, I already bought the color one, but now I'm pissed.
Now you need both. Now you need both.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I did buy both. Fake 40s jumping in here with the American Scream. Yeah, that's a great it's a documentary about home hunters. Cool.
I love it. Home Haunt from VHS Halloween is another one that is that segment was spot on. It was banging.
Yes. Oh my God. And it's so funny that you brought that up because my video posting tomorrow is with Sarah Nicklin, who is the mother in Home Haunt. I just finished editing it today. That'll go up tomorrow afternoon. So there you
You'll
go.
see a thumbs up coming from me.
Yes. And she is fantastic. It was awesome to chat with her. Let's
Has
see
anyone-
any.
Oh,
Go ahead, Morley.
I was gonna say, has anyone seen the movie with? I haven't watched it yet, but I'm trying to find it, and it's with Marissa Tomei and Minnie Driver, and they're in a lab, and they're able to capture people's souls as they die. And I only saw a clip of it yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I have to check this out." But I have no idea what movie that is. And apparently it's like they're in a laboratory and they watch an old man pass, and then they're able to see his soul contained in this. They have some kind of magnetic glass box that they're able to capture people's souls in to prove that there is a soul. And it looks
grams. I'm tossing this out. I don't know. I'm like reminds me of that film perhaps, but yeah. Is it new or old?
It looks newer, but it's also hard to tell because Marissa Tomei hasn't aged in 50 years. So that's me. 20 years. 20 years. Sorry. 20 years. Yeah.
20 years. Yes.
Yeah. 20 years. Yeah.
I don't think she's that old, but
no. But
she looks great though. Yeah.
Ageless.
She looks great for 88.
I just think it was.
Tim, are you looking it up? I can see you.
I am looking it up. I also just think of the Seinfeld episode with Marissa Tomei in it when George is obsessed with her. But yeah, I'm looking it up. Is it out?
Well, actually, I don't know. Well, Minnie Driver looks. She's hard to tell too. I mean, she looks phenomenal, and I mean, she's like Kate. Like Kate Blanchett in some movies can look 50,
Is it?
and in some movies
isn't
she
it-
can look 30. And
That's
I
true.
think
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
There's a film called, was it Atticus Institute? Is that?
Atticus
I
Institute.
don't know if you guys
maybe.
noticed. I had scissors
I know.
in
I
my
loved
head
it. I
this
was
whole
I was
time.
eyeing it up the whole the whole podcast.
Oh, the scissors. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
This
I
is what
love
I
it.
wear when I hand out candy, and it scares the really little kids because it looks like I have scissors smashed
How-
into my head.
How many head wound things do you have, Aaron? Because you wore a different one yesterday for this stream.
I have 3. Now that you're asking, I have a
Okay,
a butcher knife, and I have a meat cleaver that goes like it's a giant meat cleaver.
Can you wear them all at the same time?
I could, but yeah, I could. It would probably hurt my head more than I wanted
Okay.
to. Think like Slaughterhouse, like the giant meat cleaver. It's like one of
Oh
those,
yeah.
like a massive meat cleaver. Well, we'll have to come back to whatever that movie might be. My gosh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fantastic. We're already about an hour and 20 minutes in, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I mean, we're having a great time. Are there other films that you wanted to bring up, or if anybody is watching, if there's a film, and Tim is raising his hand?
So it's a short film called Laboratory Conditions. Marissa Tomei and Minnie Driver. What it says, doctor witnessing life after death in this freaky short film. So,
Oh, great.
Laboratory Conditions.
What's
Going
the
on
year
bucket
on it?
list.
It is 20. This article is from 2023. It looks like the movie itself was released in 2017.
Huh.
I bet they were trying to get funding for a feature length, and it just never
Mhm.
happened.
Which is-
Okay, I've got to bring up Night of the Demons. I still think Angela throws the best parties. Linnea Quigley, it's just fantastic. The
Mhm.
lipstick, she has a really clever way of holding her lipstick.
Never seen anyone else do it that way.
Yeah, no.
Right? Yes. Does anyone have extra lipstick? Linnea does. What do you guys think of that film? Do you watch that every year?
I love
Is
that
it-
film.
Is it? It's so good.
It's a classic. It's it's spot on.
Yeah.
An exceptionally large cast for an 80s
Mhm.
possession slasher or maybe zombie possession zombie. Like it's right at that like kind of weird
It's a mashup.
weird Evil Dead. Yeah. I was talking about this with I think it was Jim the Horror Barber, whether Demons qualifies as a zombie movie. My wife was like, "Is Demons a zombie movie?" I'm like, "Well, it's a demon possession movie, but they do behave somewhat like zombies."
Like
so I think that
zombies,
falls
yeah.
it falls into that Evil Dead, I'm possessed, but I'm also kind of a zombie kind of movie. But an exceptionally large cast. I think there are 10 of them in that house at the outset of the film.
Mhm. And then you have the creeper guy who his wife kills at the end, with the razor blades and the apple pie. I think.
I think the challenge. Oh, sorry. The challenge with the question for Halloween films, what do I watch at the season? Is I'm looking for movies that capture the season itself, the fall vibes. Because Night of the Demons, I'll watch that anytime. I love that movie. I'll pop that one on. That's a comfort film. Throw that on. Have a good time with that one in July. We were talking. One of the ones you mentioned, the Evil Dead movies. They're summer movies for me because they're like Cabin in the Woods. That's camp, getaway, vacation. That's what I think. So those are summer ones for me. But I do when I'm looking for Halloween films, I'm going for those red and orange leaves and the cooler weather, the sweaters. That whole vibe is what I kind of want to live in this week. So, but with plenty of horror.
Absolutely.
I
Plenty
think
of horror.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think to that note, I think with and maybe because of kids, I always watch and that'll be family movie night as well. Watch the Disney Sleepy Hollow with Ichabod Crane and right. And I forget every year when I put it on, I always forget that it's kind of scary at the end. Like you fall in love with this like bumbling, goofy looking drawn character, and it's back in whenever they made it, the 40s or the 50s, and all the other characters have very minimal drawing characters to them. Like the details aren't great. Like what's her Van Tassel? I mean, she's like two dots for eyes, but then when you get to the end, the Headless Horseman is like drawn really well, and when he whips the burning jack-o'-lantern at Ichabod, that was like, I'm still like, wow, as a kid, you're kind of like, that's a little scary. And then the imagery afterwards where there's the rotten apple that's been trotted on, and you're like, wow, I think that for a lot of kids, I think maybe for me even, that was probably the first one where you're like, well, did the hero live? Like, I need to know, like, what is Ichabod, like, is he living happily with someone else, or is he dead? Like, that's dead. And then I guess along with those lines, and Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, always. I mean, Johnny Depp was great, and the Tim Burton weirdness with his forensic tools of the time, and having 57 magnifying lenses, and that's fantastic. And the blood tree with and then on top of it all, Christopher Walken's Hessian. Phenomenal.
Do you all remember the one with Jeff Goldblum, Legend of Sleepy Hollow? It was like a Disney special, early 80s.
Wow, talk about perfect casting.
I know.
Yeah, and it was before anyone...
Ichabod.
He was Ichabod Crane. Yes. I'm gonna see. I'll look it up if I can find it. I'll share a link with you guys. And Beanzo said, "I got kids. We watch Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that's a must every year." Do you guys want to do some trivia to wrap things up?
Sure.
Got some horror trivia questions. I got out my horror trivial pursuit game, and there are categories. We'll just do a few. We've got paranormal, monster, gory, disturbing. I don't know if you can see that, but I can't read it if I hold it up. Psychological, comedy, or slasher. So who wants to go first? Morley, why don't you go, since you are the specialist? You got paranormal, monster. What's that?
I'm gonna be the worst of the group. Let's do comedy
first.
Okay, and I didn't screen these, so I have no idea if they're any good. What Saturday Night Live legend?
Toby Hooper. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you'll know this. What Saturday Night Live legend cameos as himself in both Zombieland films?
Oh, that's Bill Murray.
Yeah,
that was.
Yes, you got it. Let's see. Who wants to go next? Vince or Tim? You got to pick a category.
Go for it, Vince.
All right, I'll go. I'm going to embarrass myself, but let's try and minimize that. Yeah, let's go. I'm going to lose my reviewer card tonight. Let's go with slasher, just because I'm going to try and stack the deck. Oh.
All right, cool. Slasher. Here we go. What did the Lakewood slasher use to murder Eddie in the second season of the TV show Scream?
Oh Lord, I did watch that show.
I did too, but I don't remember.
I did too.
I black boxed a lot of that. Let's say, since I don't know, I'm going to go real creative with it. Electricity. I don't know.
It's a corkscrew. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Who knows? I wouldn't have known that.
Oh, the classic corkscrew kill from season 2.
I was thinking like Friday the 13th Part 4, but then I don't know.
Yeah.
Throw out some.
They stole that from the slasher TV series. No, I'm kidding.
Another solid series that I've not retained a minute of screen time about. I've watched them all, but they just it goes right through.
Yeah, just gone.
The first season stuck with me. The first season I remember very well. After that, definitely in one ear, out the other kind of thing.
Yeah, there was a grain silo at one point, if I'm not mistaken, in that show. Or maybe I'm thinking of Jigsaw. I don't know.
Yeah, I know there's an axe. There's got to be.
Right.
Yeah, of course. All right, Tim.
All right, what were the categories again?
We got paranormal, monster, gory, disturbing, psychological, comedy, or slasher.
Let's go paranormal. I'm probably gonna get this one wrong, but let's see.
That's too hard. I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Okay. During what war does The Devil's Backbone Spanish take place? 2001.
I haven't seen it, so I have no idea. World War I.
The Spanish Civil War. Here, let's do the next one. Here, you might know this. In The Ring. Oh my God, this is so easy. How many days after watching the Sinister videotape does one have to meet their doom?
Is this 7?
7, yeah. 7 days.
Okay, so be honest. How many of you did not watch while you're watching The Ring, close your eyes during the video?
Dude, that movie messed me up in 2001. I was a
Oh
full-on
my God.
college student, and that movie still got me. One of the best PG-13 horror movies to
Yes.
ever be
Mhm.
printed.
Wait.
Like,
1 million.
Mhm.
Talk about like gateway horror.
Yep.
yeah.
Perfect. Like
My
right.
wife's
Like
whole
just
So good. Yeah.
my wife's whole channel is called Spooky Families, her main channel, and it's about recommendations for kids and what you can expose your kids to at what ages, and like giving parents a guiding voice. And she's yet to cover that movie, I think, because she doesn't want to mess up the coverage. Like, it's like the grail for her. It's her Reanimator for me. But at the end of the day, what age do you recommend that for? I'm not sure that putting your 13-year-old down in front of The Ring without context is a good idea.
No. That's a
Yes.
no. That's a solid
Yeah.
no. We're like,
Right.
yeah.
Although they may say, "What's a VHS tape? What is this
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
technology they're talking about?"
Yeah.
That's the real horror right there. Is
Right,
how
yeah.
old you feel.
Right.
Be kind, rewind.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's no
What's a-
dread whatsoever because they'll never see a VHS tape,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Right.
Are those
Yeah.
what's at the antique store? Those things?
well. yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God. Let's do one more round. Morley,
Yeah.
pick a category. Do you want me to read them again?
oops. Yeah. What are the categories again?
Paranormal, monster, gory, psychological, comedy, or slasher.
Let's go monster.
I have to check the color. Okay, monster. Which singer played the title role in the film Queen of the Dam just
Oh.
before she died in a plane
Died.
crash?
Yeah. Boy, I can see her doing that walk and everything. When she walks in and slinks her body back and forth. She was in Romeo Must Die.
Yes. And she,
Oh.
I think didn't the
Alea.
plane crash because yeah, there was too much luggage or something.
Yeah,
It's tragic.
something
That-
horrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
Movie imprinted on my adolescent mind.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. That when she does that like sexy walk when her outfit,
Mhm.
that's like forever burned.
Oh yeah,
Burned
iconic.
Burned
Iconic.
into the
Burned in.
13-year-old brain. That's
And there's
For
a,
sure.
I think that actor is like the worst luck actor on the planet, right? Was it Pete Townsend or somebody? Or who the guy that played the guy who played
Stuart Towns? Oh,
Yes.
what's his name?
yes, Stuart
Yeah.
because he's originally cast as Aragorn,
Mm.
right? And then they recast him, and he was in another TV series that was like a horror type TV series that's pretty good. And then something happened and they canceled the second season. Like, it wasn't due to anyone's fault, but he was just like, that didn't work out. And then I think he was married to Charlize Theron for a while too.
Wow.
But-
I didn't know any of that lore. That is like a whole it's a whole TV series right there.
And he's just had a string of bad luck along the way. Is that?
Just unfortunate bad luck. Like, I think there was an issue with like Peter. There was it wasn't like they weren't getting along or anything like that. I think it was akin to like, what's his face in Back to the Future? Where
Eric
they just-
Stoltz.
Oh, Eric
Yes.
Stoltz.
Yeah,
he just
one of those
wasn't
things.
right. Wasn't right for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just didn't work out. And then I guess Viggo Mortensen called him in and they're like, hey, do you like fishing? And he's like, yeah. So,
He's perfect. He's perfect though. No offense
Yeah.
to Stuart. He's just
Yes, he is. He is good. Okay, two more. Vince, why don't you go next? You want me to read them
give
again?
me disturbing and or gross or whatever it is.
Gory and
Something-
disturbing.
Gory and
Let's
disturbing.
see.
Sounds like my Monday night.
it sounds like dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. In the Hellraiser series, the Cenobites are what kind of creatures?
Well, they're angels to some and demons to others, but they're masters of pain. I don't know. That's a broad question. What kind of answers are there?
That was a
I mean, they
great
are
answer.
Cenobites, right?
Yeah, they're
Extra dimensional is the answer. I think the
Extra
the
dimensional.
writer on this Trivial Pursuit game.
Mm,
That's a tough question.
yeah.
yeah.
But I say we accept Vince's answer.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right,
It
Tim.
was more accurate.
The first
Tim,
one was
over to you.
spot on.
Yes.
What has not been chosen yet? I'm leaning towards psychological.
Psychological, I don't think.
Okay.
Let's see. Unused footage from the Stanley Kubrick film was used in the theatrical cut of Blade Runner.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yikes.
When did Blade Runner come out?
You want me to give you a hint?
1982.
It's a Stephen King adaptation.
We only got one crack
Oh,
at that.
okay. So unused footage from The Shining, then.
It is The Shining.
Okay.
What footage what did they use?
Yeah.
The helicopter coming in over the mountains is the end scene in Blade Runner. Blade Runner. So when Deckard escapes and they get into the nice wilderness and there's all the helicopter shots, that's all from The Shining.
Wow.
You want to know something that breaks my heart? At Barnes and Noble, they have Blade Runner: The Final Cut for like on Blu-ray for like $7.99. I'm like, why are people not buying? Why does everyone not own this? Like, you should be. That should not be a thing that is $7.99 on Blu-ray.
No, that's insulting.
That's tragic.
Yeah. I have horror Funkos up here, and the one part that's just off camera because it's not on brand are like the Blade Runner sequel and original Blade Runner Funko Pops, and I'm like, it's just not on brand enough to make it on camera.
No.
Yes.
Love that movie.
I understand there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining tonight. This has been amazing. Morley, thank you so much for chatting with us. I know you talked about the prequel/sequel for Uncontained. Are there any other projects coming up that you would like to share with us, if you can?
There's one called The Entity, which is a
like Barbara Hershey?
No. Good. Wow, that was quick. No, it's just essentially the catch line is the most dangerous serial killer is the one who wants to be possessed.
Oh, yikes.
So
Got my attention.
Yep.
Sign me up.
So that'll be but yeah, and then I have a non-horror project, but I won't mention it because it's non-horror. So it doesn't really matter, but
it's a rom
not a drama, is it?
It's a drama about my life, how it sucks. No, it's a good cry. Your wives will love it.
Oh. Well, keep us updated on
Hallmark Christmas movie.
I am gonna slide this in because I'm super proud of it since Vince was bringing it up. This is
that's
cool.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Wow, where can we get them?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll post it later. It is really weird when your daughter can play with you and her Barbies.
Yeah.
At the same time. It's kind of, as long as she doesn't strip me down like she does with the Barbies. And it is a little awkward too when you walk in there and I'm like, hey, there's me with a bunch of naked Barbies. Like, I don't know should I let my wife see this? I don't know. And then I put clothes on all the Barbies. I feel like that's like an awkward moment where someone comes to the door and I'm dressing a Barbie doll and just like,
yes.
Package,
and you have a doll of yourself in the other hand.
That's me.
Right. Just
nothing.
You're living my childhood. You're living my childhood dream. I always wanted to be an action figure. That is the coolest thing I've seen all week.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Yes. Let's see. So Morley, thank you so much. Vince, I wanted to turn it over to you to talk a little bit about your channel and how folks can find you.
Hey, yeah, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Occasionally, we grace Blue Sky with our presence. We do news, reviews, interviews, and convention coverage. Film festival coverage now, I guess. We're doing some of that too. But we just try and give a really balanced, positive take on film and be the voice that uplifts the genre, letting horror fans and filmmakers express their love of the genre. And that's us. Dread Alert Media across all platforms.
That's awesome. Well, keep doing what you're doing. I think it's
Thanks,
fantastic. Man. And Tim, over to you to talk about the Dread broadcast and the average reviews.
Yeah, the Dread broadcast was a brainchild I've had for a while of bringing together different creators from across the horror community. We currently are focusing, we kind of have 3 people who do reviews, 3 people who specialize in recommendations, stuff you haven't heard of, highlighting those indie films, and then 3 people who highlight the physical media side of things. But we have rotating panel. Whoever wants in can hop in. You just gotta be the first to sign up because we have a limited number of spaces. But we do it last day of every month and just kind of talk about what happened in their month. What movie did they see in October that they want to talk about, bring to the panel, and we feature a guest at the beginning of every episode. We had the director of The Hem, indie found footage film recently, had him on, talked about that. We had slasher author Jessica Lacey, is a friend of the show and has been on multiple times, but she announced change from her pen name to her actual name and signing with a publisher, and a big deal. She announced that on the show. So we feature a guest from the first half hour. They can stay, they can go. And then we get into what was happening in everybody's own corners. And it's really, really about promoting each other in the community. And the horror community has been the most welcoming one I have encountered online. And I love it so much. And that's what it was all about to me. Let's bring everybody together for a monthly chat and just celebrate the genre that we love. And then I do
community.
Yeah, exactly. And then I do the average reviews, which is just reviewing movies. So
and just as awesome. And I must say that I've been on every one of the Dread broadcasts, live streams, except for one. And
you have.
They're fantastic. They're a lot of fun. And Morley, I'm going to put you on the spot. You should come on. So
yes, absolutely.
Just going to suggest that now in a future live stream. And Vince, you should hop on too. I'm not sure if you have.
Yes,
I haven't yet, but no, you all are fantastic. If it's anything like this, I had a blast.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yes.
We would love that.
Well, let's see.
Night.
I know this was so much fun. Maybe we could come back in the future and just do trivia. Something like something.
Let me redeem myself.
Interdimensional
beings. Yeah.
Well, yes. No, you did a good job. Good job. Thank you guys for joining. This has been awesome. I hope you all have a fantastic Halloween and enjoy the week ahead. And I will talk with you all very soon.
Thanks, Aaron.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye, everyone.